feel like you've seen the response you would want coming off Sunday's result?
Definitely. Yeah, very focused group. Again, I like playing really good teams because it shows us where we're good and where we're not good, or where we need to get better. And I think our response has been very determined, to improve upon the places that we struggled.
How much of that is collective from Sunday versus, because like after the 10-0 run at the beginning, things are a little more even. So
yeah,
how much of that do you view more individually versus collectively?
Yeah, I think, again, our sport's so funny where, you could score more points and still lose. So I think for us, we need to understand that we had a lot of chances still to be successful. So not to overreact when we play well or, don't play it as well. So for us, we did a lot of things, that were positives. The group understands that. And now there's some things that we're going to have to get better at. So again, I think some of them are individual, like they're coming and getting extra reps or doing extra video or things like that. Or some of the things in practice or things I'm trying to focus on with them. But for the most part, I would say the group is very, very focused moving forward.
You challenged your team with scheduling and non-conference, and that gets you great experience, but it also means you have to get up like match after match after match. Is that something that's been a challenge at all, or do you feel like your group has been ready that way mentally to go?
No, I think that is a challenge. I think it's tough to just always have to bring your A game-ish, for every match. But I think they've done a good job of that. Again, it goes back to practice, right? If you show up every day in practice, then you're going to show up every day in games, and we've done a good job with that. But it's something that we're getting everybody's best shot, which is a great thing. And I know we're going to get Colorado and Utah's best shot moving forward.
We talk about the altitude a lot with a lot of different sports, but for volleyball, how does it acclimate when you go to Boulder?
No, it plays, like especially with the serve. I think the ball moves a little bit faster. It floats a little bit differently. Definitely, I do feel like there's an advantage for Colorado at home as opposed to away. I feel like they definitely are a tough place to. It's a tough place to win. But we battle. We get in there. I feel like every time we're there, it's a deuce game. Last year, it was one of our hardest matches of the year. But we found a way to get it done. And so again, it'll be a great test for us, especially coming off of the loss, to Washington State. It'll be a great test for us to see if we can rebound against a good team at a tough place.
Looking at some of Colorado's numbers, they block really well, but they allow their opponents to hit at a pretty high rate.
Yeah. How
unusual is that, or how kind of normal is that? Or
yeah, I think it's hard to tell, but I think their floor defense, there's spots that you can get to them a little bit easier than maybe in the past. So we definitely need to challenge them. We can't be committing all those unforced errors against them. We need to be challenging their defense and keeping pressure on them. Again, on the road, I'm not sure how great of a serving team they are, but at home, they're a very good serving team. So then, again, that will help their block setup, and they're a big blocking team. So we're going to have to handle the pressure from the serve well, so then we can attack the gaps in the block and get after the defense a little bit more. If we do that, we'll be successful. If not, it's going to be a really tough match.
Last week, you kind of talked about how you value winning on the day-to-day standpoint less, and you talk more big picture. Could you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, it's funny because this last weekend was perfect. Like, we won on Friday, but I was more disappointed with Friday than it was Sunday, the game we lost. And it made me chuckle, actually, Sunday night, because I was thinking about what I said, and I stand by it. So, I thought our competitive intensity was not very good on Friday against Washington. Yes, we won, and we did things well. But I thought Sunday we had great competitive intensity. It felt like we were playing in a playoff game. It felt important. We were doing everything we needed to do. We just didn't execute great in different facets. And, I know that's something that we can get better at and something that we'll continue to work on as we go. But as a coach, I was much more pleased with Sunday, even though we lost, than I was Friday with not playing as good a volleyball.
Despite that result, you move up in the polls, all the shuffling that took place nationally, and RPI comes out, and it seems like computers and voters kind of respect your resume to this point. Were you kind of heartened to see that the strategy you took with scheduling and all that, and the way you guys handled yourselves through all that is being appreciated?
I think it's a little pick-me-up, when it's like you lose, and it was a hard loss because, we paid a lot. I mean, I think both our team and Washington State, we gave a lot on Sunday, and someone had to lose, and then the way we lost when we were up, we had our chances. I think was tough, especially at home. We've been winning so much at home, so we want to keep winning for our fans, and the crowds have been great. So it was a little bit of a pick me up when you move up to 4 in the RPI and you're top 5. We haven't been top 5 in my time here, so that was really exciting. Just to see kind of how far we've come. Also, I I'm pleased for our group with that. And I think it did pick up our spirits a little bit, even though we lost. The sky isn't falling, and we're okay. We get to fight another day. So, yeah. And again, watching us, the 2 matches we've lost, we've been right there. We've had our chances, and they're against 2 good opponents. So, I think if you're watching us in totality, you're thinking, we're pretty solid, and we are. We're a solid team.